episode of the Crypto Doe channel. Today we're talking about tariffs and how it affects the crypto market, right? We're talking about tariffs and how they affect the crypto market. But I look at it as this, right? This is what I realized. The crypto market compared to any other sector is still winning. The crypto market compared to any other sector is winning. I compared it to the S&P 500. The S&P 500 fell like 25%, 30%, right? The crypto market, even if it fell 25, 30%, say for instance, the S&P market went up by 100% and then fell by a certain amount of percentages. The crypto market as a whole went up by 600% and went down by 30%. The S&P went up by 100% and went down by 30%. So we're still on the upside of things if you zoom out, right? I'm gonna give you guys a couple of minutes to get in here. This is Crypto Doe. I want to teach you guys everything I know, which you guys, so together we can go further than Wells Fargo. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what crypto you own, and what crypto did you buy on the dip? What crypto did you buy on the dip, right? Can we dip a bit more? Of course we can. But I think this is a great time, or it was a great time earlier, right? I made a video late last night. Generally around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when the prices get as low as possible. So I made a couple of videos in the morning to let you guys know, hey, I seen Bitcoin at 74,000. Now it's back up to, let me see what Bitcoin is currently. I seen it at $74,000 this morning. The market, of course, it bounced back up because that's what happens, right? Bitcoin, this is crazy to me. Bitcoin dropped from 82,000 all the way down to 74,000, right? If you guys can see, it's at 79,000, damn near $80,000, right? It's at $80,000. It dropped all the way down to 74,000, as you guys can see. 74,000 at the bottom screen right there. It dropped down to 74,000. This was the early morning around 3:30 a.m. Around 3:30 a.m., 3 o'clock a.m., it was at 74,000. It had bounced back up all the way to 80,000 as if nothing happened. As if nothing happened. So it's doing extremely well. I believe with these tariffs, and the reason why I wanted to do this update is to let you guys know that this tariff threat that Trump is doing right now, I'm going to read an article. It's a tariff threat with China, right? Trump is saying he's going all the way. And I believe that the tariffs are actually working. It's working in the American favor. This is why. It's going to force the Fed to cut interest rates. It's going to force billions and trillions of dollars into the United States. It's going to force companies to actually lower down their tariffs on the United States. So now the United States can make more money while they're sending over their products. And while they're exporting their products to the United States, they're going to make money both ways now. It's not just one way. They're going to make money on both accords, right? So, and then it's going to lead us into this crypto digital world that we all know that we're headed towards. All of this is going to lead us to that. The Fed must cut their interest rate in June because that's when they refinance. We have a CPI meeting this week, and I don't think they're going to cut interest rate this week, but they're going to talk about what's going on as far as inflation, uncertainty, and everything else, right? I think the road is going to get a little bit more bumpier. And who's to say that what if the $74,000 that we hit was the low? I have it going lower now because I had the charting saying that it may go to about 69,000. Now I marked that down a little bit more to $64,000. Bitcoin can go all the way down to $64,000 at the rate that it's going right now, right? Let me know where you guys from. Smash that like button. What crypto did you buy on the dip? Because to me, it was well needed. It's like we're crashing into the new system. And repeat, we're crashing into the new system, which is absolutely fabulous because you can't say that you didn't have the opportunity to get in. I've been talking about this for months. You can't say that you didn't have the time to get, even in a month, even if you gather 500, 400, $300 to even start a position. You can't say that you didn't have ample time because you surely did, right? You surely did. Let's talk about the article real quick. Um, Luke said, "Hey, bro, how you doing today? I'm doing good. Luke, how you doing? How you doing? Hopefully, you bought something on the dip. Um, hopefully, you bought something on the dip. I bought some more Block V. Let me know what cryptos you guys own in here, and what did you buy on the dip, or do you still have your money on the side? Um, I bought some Block V. I bought some DAG Constellation. Um, I bought some YFI, some Urine Finance. Urine Finance is like $4,000, right? So I bought some of those um, because I think that with the metaverse, it's definitely going to take off with Urine Finance. I bought some Zebek, some ZBCN. I bought some ACH, some ARC. I mean, not ARC, Alchemy Pay. And I bought some more IOTA, some ZIL, and some VChain. That's what I bought on this dip, and I still have enough allocated on the side for some more. I also bought some stocks as well. I bought some MicroStrategy. I bought some Tesla. I bought MicroStrategy, Tesla. Let me see, because I made a list of um, exactly what I bought. Some Meta, some Google, some Nvidia, right? That's just on the diversification side. I bought some MicroStrategy, some Amazon, some Tesla, and some TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Also some Mara holdings and some Riot holdings. So Mara mine Bitcoins, Riot mine Bitcoin. Of course, the Taiwan Semiconductor, that's where all electrical products, they need a chip. So that's a good buy to me. And right now it's like $134. Tesla is at $213, which is pretty good. Um, Amazon is at 160, and MicroStrategy I caught at $250, which is good to me. Um, Big Ben said I bought 1K in Bitcoin when it was 86. Shaking my head. That's good. That's good. That's absolutely good, Ben. That's absolutely good. As long as you bought something, because think about it, that 1K can turn into 2, 3, 4K. Bitcoin is expected to hit over 150 to $250,000. So think about it as if now you can get about $4,000, $5,000 just off $1,000. That's actually good. That's actually good. You know, so don't look at a small buy versus. I get it. Okay, Bitcoin has ran up tremendously, and a lot of people they can't get it, but you can always dollar cost average into big projects. $5, $10, $20, $1,000, $50 here, $30 there, and you would see eventually you would get one. Eventually you would get one. Also allocate into other smaller projects as well, like Zebek. Zebek is a good one, $1,000 in that. That give you a million tokens, right? Or a million of its protocol, a million shares basically. You dollar cost into what's another one? Block V. You dollar cost. You spend 1,000 in Edge. I also bought some Edge as well today as well. And I also forget Sturdy. Sturdy is a lending protocol that I like, and it's on BitTensor Tile, right? And it's like 40. I got it at 44 cents. Got it at 44 cents. So Ben, you did a good job. No matter what you say, at least you bought on the dip. Most of the people didn't buy or start to allocate. You know, and I think yeah, you can watch all day long, but if you don't take action, it's actually like no point. Try, like try. You would gain some form of knowledge even if you fail, right? It's worth the try. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so let's get into this article with China. And this is why I believe that we have more downside to go, because they're going to play the retaliation game. Now, if China said, and this may change the entire narrative, listen to what I'm just saying, because I just thought about it. If China say, okay, we're done with the retaliatory tariffs, US, you won, I think the market's going to explode, because China is the number one top tier. But if you study China and you study China's economy, China money is weak. In fact, China just turned on their money printer, but their money is weak, so it's more dilution. This is how I know that the United States is about to turn on their money printer as well. But before that, we're going to the art of the deal. If China decides to say, you know what, the US, you guys have it, we depend on you guys too much. We can make the products, but we don't have any way to sell the products. And what's the point of making the products? Right? So America has an upside with that. Consumption has an upside, obviously. You need buyers, right? And without sellers, if sellers don't have any buyers, then they're at a standstill. So, and buyers without any sellers is still better than the sellers that need buyers. If anything, they just get to keep their money. That's it. So, the Chinese economy, to me, as far as financially, they're weak. That's just my thoughts. I believe that they're a weak economy. You can just tell they're weak. But anyway, let's go into the article, and this is by apnews.com. Beijing, AP. China said Tuesday it would fight to the end. Now, China is saying that they're going to fight to the end and take countermeasures against the United States to safeguard its own interests after President Donald Trump threatened an additional 50% tariff on Chinese imports, an additional 50%. They already on the I think I shared the percentages. If you look at the at my post, going up and down the post, you guys can actually see what's going on based on how much they're charging China right now. Let me look on the post to see how much they're tariffs charged to the U.S. 67%. New U.S. reciprocal tariffs is 34%. Right? Trump said he's going to add an additional 50%. Excuse me, 50% on top of that. This may trigger the crypto market to then what? Sell off again. So this little pump that we have, right? They can pump all the way up to 82,000 and get knocked all the way back down past 72, past 74. About a $6,000, $7,000 difference, about a 2%, 3% difference. It can get knocked down all the way down below to 69. And then if it breaks 69, we headed to 64. Then we may see the greatest bounce in history. All right, let's continue with the article. The Commerce Ministry said that the U.S. imposition of a so-called reciprocal tariffs on China is completely groundless, and it is typical unilateral bullying practice. I told you guys, that's all that he's doing right now. He's using America as a superpower, and he's going to negotiate even if he has nothing, because that's the point of, it's called a bluff. That's the point of saying, look, we're the center of everything regardless. We're the centralized system. Our money is in every nation in the world. We have the superpower. We get it that you guys can have superpower too, but whoever prints the money run the world, right? They're printing a lot of money that's in a lot of different nations, and people are indebted to the United States. I noticed that the United States don't own a lot of things in the United States, but they own a lot of things overseas. Just saying, they're playing a different game when you look at it. China's playing a game too. I'm not saying that China isn't competition. They're one of the only competition the U.S. actually has. As far as military strength and as far as the number of people, China have it. But as far as tacticals and strategic advantage, then that's when we have some form of, And as far as technology, China, I've heard, have anti-gravity spacecrafts. Y'all remember the guy who they accused of blowing up the Tesla? To me, he blew it up from a remote location. He wasn't even in there. But that's a whole nother thing. He gave us a warning to let us know that China had what they had, anti-gravity spacecrafts. But that's a whole nother thing, right? That's a whole nother thing. Let's stick to tariffs and let's stick to the connection with tariffs and crypto because everything is interconnected. China has take China has taken the retaliatory tariffs, and the ministry hinted that its latest statement that more many be that more many be coming. They had a typo that more are coming. How about that? The kind of measures China has taken are aimed at safeguarding its sovereignty, security and development interests, and maintaining the normal international trade order. They are completely legitimate. The ministry said the U.S. threatened to escalate tariffs on China is a mistake on top of a mistake and once again exposes the blackmailing nature of the U.S. That was well said. China will never accept this. If the U.S. insists on its own way, China will fight to the end. Let's see. It's only one way to find out. Or will they come to an agreement and or a compromise? You know? Also, another reason why the market pumped too, this is another thing. You guys have to watch out about fake news, right? Another major reason that the market pumped is simply because it's fake news going around stating that they paused the tariffs for 90 days. I'm here to tell you, you heard it on you heard it on crypto.com, not crypto.com. You heard it on Crypto Dough. That's not true. So the market could have pumped because of this fake news, right? Just like the stock market did a little pump based on the fake news stating that it's going to be a pause on the tariffs. Let me tell you guys, it's no pause on the tariffs. April 5th, it was ignited. I believe April 9th is another thing that's going to take place as far as law. So there literally isn't any pause on the tariffs at all. There's no pause on the tariffs. Absolutely none. So the market have read that to be real news and it pumped, and this is why I think they're going to have a lot of people investing, allocating all their money, and they're going to catch you again. So that's why you keep 50% on the sideline. If it go up, you can allocate on the way up, but I look at it as if it's another leg down based on the narrative, based on the fact that you're going to add another 50%. Think about it. Think about it. And I didn't know that I had to turn the volume up because I just checked the volume was kind of low on that one, right? Hopefully you guys can hear me better. Okay, Trump threat Monday of additional tariffs on China raised fresh concerns that his drive to rebalance the global economy could intensify a financial destructive trade war. Stock markets from Tokyo to New York have become more unstable as the tariff war worsened. I think one of the stock markets, they end up just closing down the stock market because it was just so the tariffs are killing the stock market. I believe it happened in Asia, right? Trump threats came after China said it would retaliate against the U.S. tariffs he announced last week. That's a great counter movement. If China does not withdraw its 34% increase above their already long-term trading abuse by tomorrow, April 8th is tomorrow, 2025, the United States will impose additional tariffs on China of 50% effective April 9th. Trump isn't playing. And yes, your portfolio may take a hit, but this is all part of the game. If you didn't sell, you didn't lose anything, right? Hopefully you bought some more. So this is the real dilemma. If China does not withdraw its 34% increase above their already long-term trading abuses by tomorrow, April 8th, so China has to back down. If China don't back down, they're going to add another 50%. The United States will impose an additional 50% on China effective April 9th, so effective the next day, which is the day after tomorrow will be Wednesday. Trump vote on True Social. Additionally, all talks with China concerning their request meetings with us will be terminated. If Trump implements his new tariffs on China products, U.S. Tariffs on Chinese goods would reach a combined 104%. The new taxes would be on top of the 20% tariffs announced as punishment for fentanyl trafficking in his separate 34% announced last week. Not only could that increase prices for American consumers, it could also give China incentive to flood other countries with cheaper goods and seek deeper relationships with other trading partners, particularly the European Union. Now, the way I see that is, yeah, but we all know that America is the number one consumer, so everyone needs America to consume. Let me repeat: everyone needs America to consume. So the way I see it is, okay, China, you can go to Europe, okay, and Europe is going through its own financial crisis as well, you know, but everyone actually depends on the United States to sell their products and their services. Just saying. So you're cutting out damn near most of your money, not messing with the United States. And I think the United States knows that. That's why they're so aggressive to me. So I wanted to share, I wanted to tell you guys that what's going on. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Ben, if this is your first time here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. I also have a beginner crypto investment guide. Right, I have a beginner crypto investment guide. Check out my other videos as well. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna pin it after I finish uploading this video. I'll pin it. I'll go ahead and support the channel as well. So let's look at. I read you that article, right? So let's surf the market real quick. ETH. Let's look at the top three. ETH right now is currently at $1,585.15. That's what ETH is currently at right now. All right, I have ETH going down to, it hit all the way down to 1,400 last night. So it can hit down to 1,000. If Bitcoin hit 64,000, ETH is going to be at $1,000. Remember I said that. Remember Crypto Doe said that. Let's check out XRP. I seen XRP at $1.66 last night. Like I say, I was up for the remainder of the night last night. So it hit, XRP hit $1.61. It's currently $1.90 right now. XRP hit $1.61. $1.61. $1.61. From $2, it fell about 25%. Now I was calling for it to go to $1.50, but it hit $1.61. That's close. If it breaks $1.50, it can go all the way down to 94 cents. Let me repeat: if it breaks $1.50, it can go all the way down to 94 cents. So this is for the people who said that they didn't get XRP at a good price, and anything along that nature. You get a second chance to get it. I'm not saying it's gonna go all the way down to 30 to 40 cents, 50 cents anymore, right? I'm not saying that, but anything under $1 for it is absolutely good. Another thing that I have my eye on is getting some more ADA. Cardano, right? Cardano last night went all the way down to 51 cents. Cardano last night went all the way down to 51 cents. It's currently 59 cents. I think this right here is absolutely a great buy. It's absolutely a great buy. The top, it hit $1.33. So think about it, from this point on, it's about a 2x. Can it go down some more? Yes, I have it going down. It can go down all the way to 40 cents. Or maybe it's November 5th low 2024 to 33 cents. You know, if it goes down that far, I'm loading up. Let me repeat, I am loading up. If this is your first time on the Crypto Doe channel, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, help me get swim through the algorithm so more and more people can be notified of what's going on in the market. One thing I can say about the volume with ADA, the volume right now is at 1.9 billion, so that's good. The volume has increased. I've been watching ADA, and generally speaking, it's at a $1 billion. So people are literally either trading it or they're buying the hell out of it, right? It's a $20 billion market cap. I believe that ADA is 10 times better than Ethereum. It's decentralized. It's a couple of projects on ADA that I like. As far as I'm looking at this project called LendFi. It's a lending protocol. Same thing I did with Sturdy. It's a lending protocol built on BitTensor Tile. LendFi, ticker symbol LENFI. So LendFi, right? It's down 51% in a month. It's now 61%. It went all the way up. It's 56 cents right now, but it went all the way up at the top, $4.57. I don't believe you can beat that right now. That's at least a 2, 4, 6, 8. That's at least a 9x from where we're at right now. That's at least a 9x. So $1,000, $9,000. $10,000, $90,000. $100,000 invested, $900,000, almost $1 million. So that's just how I look at these things, right? Leave your thoughts down below. I'm not going to stay too long, but I wanted to tell you guys that I think we have if China does not agree to back up tomorrow and cancel their retaliational tariffs, and they decide to go hard or go home, if they decide to go hard, the market is going to tank some more. If they decide to go home, the market may not tank as much, unless Trump decides to do another tariff attack on someone. And he has the cards, so he can do that. And for the first time, the United States is using the cards that they literally have in order to pull off these procedures. I'm not mad at them. It's the art of negotiation. It's not war, it's negotiation. Do we as people and citizens feel the effect? Of course we do. But that's all part of the game. From macroeconomics to microeconomics, we're going to feel it more than the macro is going to feel it. And I get it. But overall, the nation would be 10 times better. Can you blame that? Anyway, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. That's all I ask. Hit the bell notification. This is Crypto Doe once again, giving you a update that is needed. Put on your seatbelts. It is time to take off. Crypto Doe in 5,